Hi, I'm George, TSG's Open Content Product Manager. In this demo, I'm going to overview the AAIS Libraria system, which manages policy contracts and is powered by TSG's Open Content Management Suite, Alfresco, and Kira. Like many organizations, AAIS uses LexisNexis StateNet to track state regulations that require contract changes. For this demo, we're going to follow a change that was made in 2018, and it was due to Oklahoma's Senate Bill 1485. Due to this bill, AAIS needed to change Oklahoma contract language around the notice of our intent clause. So based on that change, we're going to leverage Kira to find documents that are impacted by that Senate bill. Now, before we get too far, just a quick overview of Kira. Kira uses machine learning to analyze contracts and other documents, and it has over 500 different models for different types of contracts. And AIS actually added their own models specifically around insurance policy contracts. So I'm going to jump back into Kira here, and I'm going to search for documents that are impacted by our change. So first, I'm going to go ahead and find documents that are tagged Oklahoma. And then we also know that this regulation changed the notice of our intent. So I'll search for that. And we'll add that down. And then this is going to filter the list. And these are the 20 documents that were changed or that need to be changed due to the Senate bill. This document here is actually the one that we're going to focus on in the demo. And before we go to making the change, I just wanted to jump to a different part of Kira where we can actually see how Kira will analyze these documents and actually pull out contract language and categorize them automatically based on its machine learning algorithms. We actually can see here of how it pulled out the notice of our intent, which enabled our search. So now we're going to jump into the Libraria system and actually go ahead and make the change that is needed due to this regulation change. So I'm just going to go ahead and search for the document. So we know that it is BT 0835. Go ahead and execute that search. And we can see the search came back here, and we can look at properties of this document if we'd like. But I'll just go ahead and click on it, and we'll go ahead and edit the document. So here's the document, and I'm just going to go ahead and make the change. What we're going to do is part of what the law did is this within 45 days is now 60 days. So we're just going to go ahead and check out the document to make an edit. And we can download the document and then just open it up in Word. So now I have the document open in Word, and I'm just gonna, there were other changes that were needed in here, but I'm just gonna go ahead and change that 45 days to 60 and save. And now we're gonna check in the change with the new version. So I have different ways to do this. I can drag and drop the document, or I can browse to it. I'll just go ahead and drag it and drop it in. And this is going to create a new version of the document that is in the draft state. So it's important to know that not all users are going to see this draft. Only the approvers and document editors will see this draft version. We're also going to change some properties of this document. So the form edition is going to change. We'll change that to 0718. And there are other properties that we can change here, but for now, we're just going to change that form edition. Now, of course, because of the Senate bill, there were other documents that needed to be changed, but in the interest of time, we're just going to change this document. And at this point, we're going to go ahead and start the document on a route. So the way that we do that is we start a form which defines this development request. So for the project name here, we're just going to specify the Senate bill. and this is a form change. And there's different types of natures of change here. And as you can see, as we fill out different areas, it's going to add pages and questions to the form to make sure that I fill out the correct information. So here, if I select discretionary, it adds some pages. This is a compliance change, so I'll go ahead and do that, and it changes the pages. Here for target filing date, this was a change in 2018, but I'm just going to choose a date in the future. So now I can enter a description of change, which I will just paste in from the description. Related documentation is optional, but I can go ahead and drag and drop different changes. So I can drag and drop different files on here. So I'm just going to drag and drop this filing memo. Enter the user story. And again, this would have been somewhere in 2018, but I'll just go ahead and choose a date in the future. Here we know that this is an Oklahoma change, so we'll go ahead and do that. And then it's going to add, it's going to have us enter the product lines. And this was on many different product lines. I'm just going to add a couple so to show the how the pages change. You're going to see as we add different product lines, it's going to fill in, ask us for information about those product lines. I'm just going to skip ahead here to the review and approval and show how AAIS uses both peer review and internal approvers to approve this change internally before submitting the change to external regulators. So this is just a simple, I can choose one or more users, but I'm just going to select a couple. And I could enter some routing comments here. It's optional, just sort of if I want to give information to the approvers before I route it. I want to jump ahead. This is actually this exact form filled out in the AAIS environment. So here you can see the filled out form with all of the information for the different jurisdictions, and the approvers are listed on here as well from the approver list. And we can see over here all of the documents that were attached and affected by this change, as well specifically this boat owners or BT 0835 that we were modifying. And we can also see the supporting documents that were attached as well. And if we go ahead, we can actually open these in dual pane view and see the information about the change as well as what was changed in these documents at the same time. Additionally, we can see audit events, so we can see who started the route and when and who approved. If there were any rejects or other things like that, you would see comments as far as why the document was rejected. And if we jump to the 0835 document that we were modifying, we can see that it was related, this document revision was related to this development request form. And we can even view versions and generate redline comparisons so we can see exactly what changed between the 2.0 and 1.0 version. So here we can see some header changes and then this change from going from 45 days to 60 days. So I wanted to show a quick architecture overview of this system. At the center sits Alfresco, which is the main document repository. Documents are loaded into the repository, and then the primary user interface is managed by TSG's OpenContent Management Suite, which provides web services, the primary user interface for editing documents and searching documents, as well as the form and workflow functionality and annotation functionality. Workshare Compare is used to do the dynamic redline overlays. And then documents are placed in Kira for contract analysis. Well, that's it for this demo overview. Be sure to follow the TSG blog and check out tsgrp.com for more information and client use cases. Thanks for watching.